sweeties, welcome back to Queer Cosplayers Family Kitchen. I am your host, Ariel Brandywine, and we are coming to you from the mother of all heat waves where I live, and it is the final episode of Egg Cracking Month. So once again, we are paying tribute to so many of my found family members who offered up their favorite egg-based dishes, and we are ending things with my sibling Daisy, and they requested something that's kind of going to be another page in our Back to Basics series, because this is a dish that is incredibly common, doesn't really seem that difficult to make. That being said, I've never made it before, but Daisy requested that we make some deviled eggs. So I am going to walk you through how to make a very simple, very basic deviled egg recipe. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, sweeties, so to start out with, you're going to want to get a saucepan and 12 eggs, and I filled this as high as I can with cold water. So what we are going to want to do now is bring this to a boil. Once it gets boiling, then we've got a couple of other steps that we're going to want to do. But until then, just set it to the heat and wait. All right, sweeties, so this is boiling. I just noticed a little trick here is if you put your hand on the handle, you can kind of feel the bubble, or feel it bubbling, or feel kind of a vibration. So now, what we're going to do, this is a little trick from the recipe I'm using, where you can put in a teaspoon of baking soda. And this will actually make it a lot easier when you need to peel the shells off the eggs. So we are going to put that lid back on and then remove this from heat for about 12 minutes. All right, sweeties, these just got done boiling. So what I've also done in this pan right here is I have put together an ice water bath. So we are going to want to slowly transfer these to an ice water bath to cool completely. One at a time, like so. All right, sweeties, so these have been in here for about 12 minutes. Now it's time to peel one and see how we did. All right. So you always want to try to crack it on the fat end of the egg, so on the very bottom, because there's kind of an air pocket there. So, let's see. Slowly peel it. It looks like they came together, but peeling this is always going to be kind of a slow process, so take your time. Well, sweeties, they're not the prettiest ones in the world, but we did succeed. One thing that I learned while doing this is when you put your eggs, or when you take your eggs out of the boiling water and then put them in the ice water bath, you only want to leave them in there for a minute or two. Otherwise, it doesn't ruin the eggs, it just makes them a lot harder to peel. But now we are making what some would argue is the most important part of deviled eggs, the filling. So in here, I've got 1/3 cup of mayo, 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, a tablespoon of pickle relish, and a little salt and pepper. But the most important ingredient of any filling for deviled eggs is, of course, the egg yolk itself. So I'm going to take one of these hard-boiled eggs. There we go. Then, using a spoon, it's already kind of coming off the sides here, so that's going to make it easy. I'm going to put the egg yolks from all of the eggs into our filling, and then give it a good mixing until everything's nice and blended. Once it's blended, you can put your filling in a Ziploc bag, then just kind of snip one of the corners off and fill them right in. All right, sweeties, we've got our filling, and it is time to fill these deviled eggs like so. Now, again, what's kind of an easy way to get these filled is like I said before, put it in a Ziploc bag, and then you can just then snip the tip off of it like so. All right. Yep. So we are going to keep filling these one by one. All right, sweeties. Honestly, for this being my first time ever attempting deviled eggs, while these may not be the prettiest I've ever seen, these still turned out pretty darn good. So there is one last step that, honestly, this is optional, but you can... Oh, that would explain it. This is a whole new container. So you can kind of garnish them with a little bit of paprika, like so. Gives them a nice color. There we go. There we go. All right. So now there is only one thing left to do, and really hope I do Daisy justice in making these. These turned out incredibly well. So thank you so much for tuning in all month long for Egg Cracking Month. It has been such a joy getting to share all of my found family's favorite egg recipes with you, and I really hope you will tune in next month for, let's just say it's a month that I'm really looking forward to. So, bye, sweeties.